A very good day to everyone. This is Ankita Arora. So let us start with the another topic, and our another topic is job work and appeal and revision. Today we will try to complete both the chapters. Now, what is the importance of the chapter? Every time in exam, either you will find a question from e-label or you will find a question from job work. It is like one and one. That is, alternatively either job work is there or alternatively either e-way ka concept is there. The expected marks for job work is 4 marks. 4 marks ka you will find the question. Then what about appeals and revision? Appeals and revision you might find in the exam, you might not find in the exam. And if I talk about the pattern of the question for both the chapters, that is, if I talk about appeal and revision, direct theoretical questions it is. Very easy to crack, very easy to understand that what is the case and what is the scenario when you can appeal to the higher authority. So that is so simple. When I talk about job work, in job work, case study is also possible. And when I come to job work, apart from case study, you can also expect practical question, but not so difficult to crack. Third thing, they might mix like time of supply mixed with job work, time of supply is mixed with some other chapters. So you might also find that there is a mixture of two concepts. You might find ki are ye to job work wala question is there and I have to attempt the job work wala question. It is not like that. Read the question properly, because after reading the question properly, you will find that this was the time of supply ka question, not job work. So they will just use the wording job work. And by using the wording job work, they will give you the question related to time of supply. So this is the scenario for job work and the appeals and revision chapter. Now, from where we will cover up this job work and your appeal and revision ka concept. So we will cover from my mind maps, completely from my mind maps. What is the task for you today? My students of the class, what is the task for you today? Today we will cover job work, we will cover appeal and revision. So it will be your task that you have to do the complete reading of that from study material. Tomorrow we are not having any classes, so you would get time. Tomorrow it's only DT ka class in the morning, so you will be getting the time. So your task is to do the complete reading. ठीक है? चलो. So let us start with the topic. Now, when it comes to job work, what do you mean by job work? Job work से हम क्या समझते हैं? What do you mean by job work? So when I talk about job work, is it a supply of goods or it is a supply of service? Supply of goods or it is supply of service. So see, we have done schedule number 2. Ma'am, schedule number 2 कहाँ याद आ रहा था? Somewhere we have done schedule number 2. Yes, supply chapter. In supply section number 7, we have find schedule number 2. Now, what is there in schedule number 2? Whether a particular transaction, whether a particular activity, I would say, whether a particular activity is supply of service or supply of goods, it is stated by a schedule number 2. Then in your schedule number 2, you have find any process or treatment, any process or treatment on any other registered person's good, any other registered person's good, any process and treatment on that good is supply of service. ये registered person है, this is the registered person and my goods, the goods belong to the registered person and job worker is doing nothing, he is providing services. He is providing what? He is providing the services to the goods that belong to a registered person. For an example, some clothes have been given by my registered person to the job worker to do certain embroidery, to do certain dyeing, that is color dye करने के लिए he has given. So that is the kind of service. Now what is kind of service? what is the main thing? It is service, supply of service. Ma'am, kaise? It is a composite nature ka supply. Ma'am, how it is composite nature ka supply? Suppose a registered person giving this clothes. These are nothing. These are all the clothes that my registered person is giving to this job worker. When my registered person is giving all these clothes to the job worker, he wants that do the coloring on that, do coloring, do embroidery. So when this person is doing the coloring, embroidery, he is using his goods. Color he is using belonging to him. All the embroidery related articles he is using, that belongs to him. Now, in that case, let us continue. Sorry for pausing. चलो, तो यहाँ पे क्या था? This is a registered person. Registered person का goods. Send it to the job worker for any kind of treatment, any kind of process. So that is kind of service. Now, why it is composite nature ka service? Because when the goods are given by the registered person to this job worker, obviously if he wants to color the fabric, he will use his own color. If he wants to do the embroidery on the fabric, he will use the whatever thread, whatever sequences, whatever it is required for the embroidery purpose goods. So wahi use kara, he will use his own goods. That means it is composite supply of goods as well as service. What is the principal nature of? Is he registered person going to job worker for that thread? Is he going for the color, or is he going for the purpose of complete coloring of the cloth? So composite nature, principle is service. Understood? So when it comes to job worker, yes, job worker ka whatever the activity job worker is providing, that is principal nature supply of service, and it is the composite nature of supply. And whenever it is composite nature of supply, what is the tax rate? It is based on the principal supply. So that this we have done job work. Whenever there is treatment process undertaken on the goods that belongs to registered person, ma'am, why it is always registered person? It is always registered person. A registered person ka good should be there, and that registered person ka good should be for the purpose of whatever treatment and process. It is not about an unregistered person giving goods on the for the purpose of job. Later on, we will understand why and what is the reason for this registered person. Job worker can use goods input for the supply of service. Now, job worker can use any goods or inputs for supply of this service other than supplied by principal. That is the example I have taken ki job worker will use its own goods also, some input to supply this service, and that is other than supplied by the principal. So in such a case, it is a composite nature ka supply, and in composite nature, principal supply is supply of service. Chalo. Now, when it comes to the supply of service, understand one thing. Job worker is supplier of service, pay GST. If liable to register, then issue invoice, and based on the value of supply, means service charge plus value of supply of goods and service used to supply job work service. Now what has been written over here? Job worker is what? Job worker is the supplier of the service. Yes, job worker is the supplier of service. He pays GST. Okay. If liable to register. If my job worker is liable to get registered, then my job worker will be liable to pay GST. My job worker is the supplier of service, and if my job worker is the supplier of service, and if he is required to pay GST, and when he is required to pay GST, if he is liable to get registered, in such a case, he will issue, my job worker will issue either the tax invoices, and what will be the value of such supply? Value of supply as per section number 15. Remember, value of supply ka chapter. As per the value of supply ka chapter, section number 15, you will calculate the value of the service, value of the goods, and on the basis of that, my job worker who is liable to get registered, he will pay GST. So that means if invoice is made by my job worker, he will charge the service charges plus value of the goods or value of the service as the case may be. And on that, this job worker is required to pay GST. He will charge GST. He will what? Charge the GST from the principal. So when my job worker is liable to get registered, he will issue an invoice, and on invoice he will give the value of supplier. Value of supplier will be calculated based on section number 50. Done. Is that important? No, it is just they are saying if a job worker is liable to get registered, he has to issue the invoice. What if mold, die, jigs, fixture, tools are sent by the principal to job worker? Value will be included, the value of this mold, die, jigs, fixture, tools, etc. So they are saying if amount is recovered from recipient instead of supplier, would be included in the value. Now what is this? Suppose this is the principal and this is my job worker. My principal is sending certain molds. To whom my principal is sending certain molds to this job worker. Now, if this principal has recovered some consideration for this mold, obviously, if this principal has recovered certain consideration for this mold, then this consideration that is received from the job worker, obviously this will form part of value of supply of whom? Form part of value of supply of this supplier. Now, what has been written? Mold, dies, jigs, fixture, tools provided by the principal to job worker. Would this, when a principal provides this molds to the job worker, will this value be included in the value of supply? So they are saying yes, this value will be included if the amount is recovered from recipient. If amount is what? Recovered from recipient. समझो इस चीज को अच्छे से. Language is little bit different. बोल क्या रहा है वो? My principal providing the molds. If principal providing molds free of cost, so this is not at all a supply because without consideration, and this does not falls under schedule number 1. This does not fall under schedule number 1, so it is not at all a supply. But if my principal charges consideration, that is nothing. That is simply supply for my principal. Because here the principal is what? Supplier of goods. But when it comes to job work wala service, here, who is the recipient? Now recipient is principal. He is receiving the services. So they are saying if the amount of this is received from recipient, that means if these goods are free of cost provided to this job worker, what does this mean? Free of cost provided to job worker, that means अगर मुझे कोई काम कराना है and I am only giving the goods, that means what? मैंने ही तो पे किया है उसके लिए. I have only paid for that. So if this for job worker, if the goods are given by principal and for no consideration, in such a case it will form value of supply. बिल्कुल बनेगा value of supply का part. Why? Instead of job worker giving that, he says you should give me. तो भाई तुमने ही तो दिया है, तुमने ही तो उसका कंसिडरेशन पे किया है, तो वो वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई का पार्ट तो बनेगा कि एंटायर वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई क्या है, ये है. रिमेंबर वन मोर थिंग इन वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई, एनीथिंग पेड बाय recipient on behalf of supplier, तो ये भी तो कहीं ना कहीं वही है. So in such a case, if it is recovered from recipient, it will form part of value of supply. What if my job worker is unregistered? If your job worker is unregistered, then obviously reverse charge mechanism ka concept will be applicable. Done. Now, ma'am, is registration required when it comes to job worker? Job worker is providing the service. Is job worker required to get registered? Yes, job worker is required to get registered, whether intra or inter, if the threshold limit crosses 10 lakh or 20 lakh as the case may be. Threshold limit crosses 10 lakh or 20 lakh as the case may be, because when it comes to supply of service, in case of interstate supply of service, in your registration chapter it has been given, even if supply of service interstate, a threshold limit of 20 lakh or 10 lakh as the case may be is applicable. तो वो तो applicable रहेगी. तो अभी तक कितना किया? What we have covered? Job work, it is supply of service. From where I came to know it is supply of service, I came to know from schedule number 2 that has been given in my supply ka section number 7 wala definition. Then when it comes to supply of job worker wala service, it is actually a composite nature service, because with service certain goods are provided by my job worker only, but principal nature of activity is not getting that goods, it is getting that services, and therefore it is supply of service. Would my job worker required to get registered? My job worker is required to get registered only and only case when 20 lakh or 10 lakh ka limit crosses, whether it is inter or intrastate supply. Now, whenever goods are sent by principal to job worker, let us get a linkage from the e-way bill. We have done the concept of e-way bill, and in e-way bill there was an exception. What was the exception? That if principal supplying goods to the job worker, if my principal supplying goods to the job worker, in that case it is compulsory. It is compulsory whether the value is not crossing 50,000. It is compulsory to make e-way bill. Concept given where in e-way bill. Now understand one thing. When my principal sending the goods to this job worker, my principal is sending the goods to the job worker. In such a case, when my principal is sending the goods to the job worker, is it a supply? No, this is not a supply. Why? This is not a supply. This is just movement of goods. It is just movement of goods, because now after giving this goods by principal to job worker will not be the owner of such goods. He will be doing only treatment and process on such goods. That means it is not supply, it is just movement. This is what? Just movement. So when there is movement, e-way bill is required, and e-way bill is required if interstate supply by principal to job worker without any limit. कोई limit नहीं है इसकी. Understood? याद आया, recall हुआ होगा. Now, ma'am, when principal initiates the movement of the goods for the job work to the job worker, in such a case, ma'am, we have to do chapter ITC. ठीक है, अभी हमने ITC का चैप्टर नहीं किया. We have to do that. But in chapter ITC, there is section number 16. Now, in that section number 16, it has been written that goods, in order to claim ITC, it is a condition that the supplier should receive the goods or service. Supplier should receive the goods or service. Now, understand one thing. My principal has received certain goods. Now he wants that this goods should be given directly to the job worker का place. कि मैं अभी क्या कर रही हूँ? I am purchasing from Jaipur. I am in Maharashtra. First of all, getting the goods from Jaipur to Maharashtra. Then actually in Udaipur only I want certain job work to be done. So what is the logic of calling the goods from Jaipur to Maharashtra, then sending to Udaipur directly? I will send to Udaipur now. Is that allowed? But if it is allowed, then in such a case, section 16 ka violation is there. What is section 16 ka violation? That goods should be received by supplier. Now, in such a case, when goods are directly sent from Jaipur to Udaipur, goods are not being received by the principal. Is that violation of section 16? So now it is told that no, it is not violation of section 16. It is an exception. Even if principal sends goods to the directly to the place of job worker, it is acceptable. ITC milega. You will get what? ITC. Ma'am, when I will get ITC? Obviously, when my principal is purchasing. Principal is what? Purchasing these goods, na? So on purchase only you will get the input tax credit. So they are saying yes, section 16 ka there is no violation even if the goods are not directly received by the principal. In fact, it is sent to job worker directly. But there is again a condition that if you are sending the goods directly to job worker, or if after receiving the goods, principal has received the goods and after receiving the goods, he is sending the goods to the job worker. After receiving the goods, he is sending the goods to the job worker. In both the cases, ITC allowed. There is no issue in that, but it might be a situation when they will reverse your ITC. Ma'am, why and when they will reverse the ITC? They will reverse the ITC in case there is a particular time limit given. that if it is input and if it is capital goods, there is a particular time limit given that within that particular time limit, job worker should complete the job work and return the goods back to the principal. Because if the goods are not returned back to the principal, actually it was supply. Actually it was supply. Remember, on supply GST is charged, on movement of goods GST is not charged. So when to monitor the movement of goods, they are saying make a e-way bill. Now, why compulsory e-way bill? Compulsory e-way bill because whenever principal sending goods to the job worker, they maintain e-way monitoring through e-way bill. Chalo, you have sent it. But there is a particular time limit. In that particular time limit, if you are unable to receive back the goods, input should be received back in 1 year and capital goods in 3 years. Input when sent by the principal should return back from job worker to principal in 1 year and capital goods should get returned within 3 years. If they are not returning, that means actually it was a supply. So when actually it was a supply, you are liable to pay the GST. So therefore it is said कि okay, if you are directly sending the goods to job worker or after receiving the goods are sent back to the job worker, that is okay. We will allow you ITC, but ITC will be reversed if input is not received back in 1 year or capital not received in 2 years. Capital goods not received back in 3 years. Now, suppose actually capital goods or input, these two are sent by my principal to whom? Job worker. Now, input not received in 1 year and capital goods not received in 3 years. They are not receiving it back in 1 or 3 years. Now, what will happen? They will deem it as supply. And whenever it is supply, obviously it is liable to GST. Whenever it is supply, obviously what? It is liable to GST. Now, ma'am, 1 year before actually supply had took place. After 1 year, they came to know, they deemed it as a supply. Movement तो took place before 1 year. Movement तो तुम्हारा 1 year के पहले ही हो चुका था. 1 साल खत्म होने के बाद, after the end of the 1 year, now it is the deeming section of supply. Don't you think it is lost to the department की जो taxes, जो GST हमें कब मिलना चाहिए था? 1 year before we were eligible for the GST, but now after 1 year they are receiving this GST. Yes, ये तो है. So this will be deemed as a supply, but not after the end of 1 year. The date you have initiated the movement, now from that date it is deemed to be supply, and with interest you are liable to pay the taxes. With interest you are now liable to pay the taxes. I hope you understood. First of all, if you are sending back sending the input should get returned in 1 year. Sending capital goods should get returned in 3 years. If it is so, in such a case, if it is returning in 1 year, returning in 3 years, it was just a movement, nothing. But not returning back, in such a case, it is considered what? It is considered as supply, and supply not from the date of end of the 1 year or 3 year, from the date when it initiated the movement. Therefore, you are liable to pay the taxes with interest. You are liable to pay the taxes with interest. See. Now, ITC to principal on input capital goods. Condition is they should return back ITC in 1 year and capital goods in 3 years. Yes, extension is possible. We will do that. If not return in 1 year or 3 year, it would be treated as supply. If it is supply, you have to declare in GSTR1. And principal is liable to pay tax and interest. If these goods are sent from the principal ka premises, that when principal received it and after receiving goods, then he sold, created the movement of goods to job worker. In such a case, when is supply deemed? What is the date when the supply is deemed to be supply? That movement deemed to be supply. Supply and pay interest from date of sending for job work. The date when you have sended that goods for the job work. And ma'am, if directly sold, when job worker actually received, when it is directly sold from a place of, from the place where we have purchased it and directly sold to job worker place, then date of received by job worker. Understood? Now, section number 143. Is that something different in this chart now? No, nothing is different in this chart. Already everything we have discussed. But little bit 2-3 fillers we have to fill in this, and your job worker chapter will be over. This we have already done. बहुत easy set, triple copy, double copy, that we have done. E-way bill का concept we have done. See, what is the job work procedure? It applies only to registered person. Yes, job work procedure obviously optional. If a registered person wants to take a job worker ka process, he can take. If he doesn't want, he will not take. It is an optional thing. Now, if the goods are sent, these are goods, whether input or capital goods, not mold, jigs. Why? Because they have very short life, very short shelf life. So return wala jo condition hai, that does not belong. Return wala condition does not belongs here. Okay. So when it relates to goods, whether input or capital goods, that is other than mold, jigs, tools, other than this, because return wala condition does not belong here. So they are saying if input return within 1 year or capital goods return within 3 years, extension of 1 year for input and extension of 2 years for capital goods. If commissioner is convinced that yes, there was a sufficient reason, so he can extend 1 year, 2 years accordingly. From the date of sending, if doesn't return back, it is deemed supply, and then again you have to see whether it was directly sold, sent from premises, or it was sent from person from whom we have purchased, उधर की place से directly गया. Then accordingly see कि deemed supply का date क्या होगा. If supplied by job worker after prescribed time, मैम समझाओ. What if within 1 year not returning back from job worker, within 3 years, within extended time not returning back from the job worker? Obviously, it is supply for my principal. We have already done this concept. Now, understand one thing. I have given my goods to the job worker. I have given the goods to the job worker. Let's say this. I have given this bottle to the job worker. Now, what I want, this cap should be of black color. मैंने इसको किसको दिया? I have given to job worker. So job worker has to do this certain shape वगैरह उसको करना पड़ेगा, and after this shaping उसको क्या करना पड़ेगा? He has to give it to me. ठीक है? But suppose one job worker can do all this shaping, molding, ये सारा एक job worker कर सकता है. First job worker done this thing. Then coloring is not possible for that job worker. He will send this nozzle to some other person for the coloring purpose. That means a job worker can send these goods to other job worker also. One job worker to another job worker. Then after this, I want this naming. This is done by my third job worker. Are you getting? एक जॉब वर्कर से दूसरे जॉब वर्कर फिर तीसरे जॉब वर्कर पे जाना है. इन सच अ केस मैम, इज इट 1 year फॉर ईच जॉब वर्कर? दैट इनपुट वाला कैपिटल गुड्स का 3 years इंडिविजुअली फॉर ईच जॉब वर्कर. एग्रीगेट. Overall in 1 year everything should get completed, and extended time 1 year. Overall in 3 years everything should get completed, and extended time 2 years. So it is not every job worker based time limit, it is overall time limit. First thing. Second thing, when if one job worker is sending goods to other job worker, how they will maintain all this accounting and all? So understand one thing. सबसे पहले, when these goods are sent to a job worker, ठीक है, and job worker send these goods to another job worker, ठीक है, or this job worker directly from the premises, what he does, either supplies the goods or export the goods. अभी देखो दो condition possible है. I have sent my goods to the job worker. He will either send to another job worker for further treatment, or that job worker or that job worker, could I allow that job worker कि if any customer is coming, you can sell it from your place. तुम अपने place से उसको sale भी कर देना. So in that case, when a job worker is allowed to sell that goods from his premises, so my principal is required to mention that place as additional place of the business. Obviously, principal को बताना पड़ेगा that is my additional place of the business in while getting registered. So he should mention that job worker का place as additional place. But what if my job worker is already registered? If he is already registered, then it is okay. But if my job worker is not registered, in such a case, this should be mentioned by the principal in registration form that this is my additional place of the business. Consider it as what? Your additional place of the business. Understood? Sure. So what has been written? When either given to another job worker or sold, supplied from that job worker, that job worker, or that is given to another job worker, if supplied on payment of tax or without paying tax, that is export, then this facility could be availed if job worker ka premise is mentioned as additional place of the business. However, there are two exceptions. If already my job worker is registered or the principal is supplying certain specified notified goods, if you are supplying, okay, you are not at all like handcrafted goods, you are not at all required to get to mention that job worker place as additional place of the business. Understood? Then, whenever these goods are sent by the job worker to another job worker, in such a case, goods are sent under the cover of a challan, delivery challan. Remember, so these goods will be sent under the cover of a challan. Ma'am, who will issue this challan? In fact, a job worker can issue the challan. Even the principal can also issue this challan. So if principal, then this is endorsed by job worker on sending goods to other job worker. If job worker can issue the challan, he will simply issue a fresh challan. But if job worker does not issue a challan, principal has only the authority to issue challan. Then whatever challan was received by the job worker at the time when he has received the goods, that challan he will endorse to another job worker. Simple. जो उसको मिला था, जब उसको वो गुड्स मिले थे वर्किंग करने के लिए, ट्रीटमेंट करने के लिए, तो चालान मिला था, वो चालान वो क्या कर देगा? एंडोर्स कर देगा नए जॉब वर्कर को. अंडरस्टूड दिस थिंग? So this is nothing. This is all about your job worker. Job worker में what we have done? Whether composite supply, yes, it is composite supply, supply of goods or supply of service. Then would that principal get ITC? Yes, he will get the ITC, but condition 1 year and 3 years. Extended time 1 year and 2 years for capital goods, and 1 year was for the input. If not written within that time, then it will be assumed, it will be deemed that it was supplied from the date it was actually sent to the job worker. If directly sent from the premises after receiving, then date when sent, and if it is sent directly from the supplier ka places, then when it is received by job worker. When directly sold from the job worker ka place, in such a case, registered person has to mention that as the additional place of the business. But if my job worker already registered or principal is providing the notified goods, in such a case, this requirement is not necessary. Now, whenever my principal would be sending goods to the job worker, he has to maintain proper record. He has to intimate that to proper officer that what is the input, what is the process for which the goods are going, detail of the job worker, every detail he has to give along with the challan. So that proper accounting will be maintained, that principal is sending all the goods to whom? The job worker. Now, what is the procedure for sending the goods to job worker? Now, what is the procedure for sending the goods to job worker? Goods sent by principal to only one job worker. Input or capital good, as the case may be, there should be a challan issued, and challan will have all this thing. This again you will find in your invoice chapter. Invoice में delivery challan में what are the particulars that should be mentioned? These are all those particulars, so not at all important, just a one-time reading. This should be in triple. 2 copies to job worker with goods. Once job worker receive that goods, one copy is returned along with the one copy is returned to principal that yes, I have got the goods. So triple, 2 copies to job worker and 1 copy is kept by the principal. Now, whenever goods are returned to principal by job worker, then that copy is again given. Okay. Job worker send 1 copy of challan received from principal previously. He will return it back. Now, principal to submit all such transaction in GST ITC 04 by 25th of the succeeding quarter. Quarterly return has to be filed giving all the details, whatever are the goods that is sent to the job worker. Now, goods returned to principal by job worker if goods returned in piecemeal means obviously if I'm sending all these bottles, there are many such bottles I'm sending. अरे जरूरी थोड़ा है एक साथ सारी की सारी वर्कआउट होके आ जाएंगी. It is not necessary that all the things will be received in same lot. Suppose I have sent this 20,000 bottle and received only 500. So when I receive in piecemeal, a fresh challan for the same is issued by job worker that 500 send it, 500 next send it, 500 next send it. That is the case. So this is nothing but your job work. बहुत अगर मैं normal base पे समझो इस चीज को, it is very simple. When you are sending the goods to some person and that is not supplied, proper monitoring needed. Principal will maintain account and every time this is given to the job worker, delivery challan made, and when job worker will also be sending, he will also give you the delivery challan. Delivery challan triple में जाएंगे, एक principal retain करेगा, 2 are given to job worker. So when job worker will return the goods, he will send that 1 delivery challan back to the principal. But ma'am, if the quantity is not same, then in such a case, job worker will issue fresh challan. As simple as that. And this is the completion of your job work wala chapter. This video completed with job worker wala concept. Now in second video, I will not post in this only. In second video, we will be doing your appeal and revision wala concept. If appeal and revision get completed in 1 hour, if appeals and revision would get completed in 1 hour, then we will take another chapter, also a small chapter, and I guess that small chapter could be, let me check which is the smallest possible. It could be registration or anything if possible. Okay. So complete job work, complete at least appeals and revision wala concept. Okay, and authority of advance ruling we have already done. Sure.